Welcome back to our second half. And in the second half, not quite a whole half this time, Becky and I are used to seeing 3 guests as a rule, but because CCC has been working very hard for many of our members, we're down to 1 guest per show, 1 guest per month. So that's maybe the good news. But it's my pleasure to introduce Andy Hilgartner, who is now looking and has even spent some time in my hometown, St. Louis, but is sales manager and a new business development manager. So tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me about your background, if you will, Andy.
I'm a results-oriented leader with 20 years experience working for companies growing and identifying new markets and helping them increase revenue growth. A lot of my experience or proven experience has been in new business development, as well as managing sales organizations, increasing market share, and expanding or establishing brand recognition. One of the stories I like to tell is I had an opportunity in my earlier in my career to be a national sales manager for a division of a Fortune 200 company, and I had an opportunity while I was there to develop a $20 million product line in annual sales from $1. And this product achieved sales growth of 35% per year for 5 years, and we were able to increase profit margins by 20% over that time period. And also during that same time period, I had an opportunity to develop for that particular manufacturer 40 new channels of distribution in Canada, the U.S., Latin America, and Mexico. So that gives some synopsis, if you will, of my last 20 years.
I wonder if it's anything similar to what I did. I spent almost 20 years with one company in the Yellow Page industry, and I was the director of new market development. And I would go out to some of these new markets, like in Iowa, Northern Illinois, Wisconsin, and find out if there was a need for a directory and that kind of thing, and so on. Do you sometimes do that? Go to different cities to see demographically, geographically, if that's where you should be?
I've traveled quite a bit throughout the United States, outside the U.S. as well, Europe, Canada, into Mexico and Latin America. So I had some opportunity to get into places like Seattle or Mexico City or parts of Europe, anywhere from Germany to the Ukraine.
If you had your druthers, can you imagine the position you'd like to be in more than any other? Where would you like to be soon?
I think the ideal position for myself would be in a senior sales management role or new business development role with a company really focused on growth, specifically in overseas markets like Asia, maybe Russia, Europe, as well as Mexico and Latin America. I think that would be the ideal situation for
But
myself.
Andy, it really wouldn't be automatic that it would have to be a large company. It could be a smaller company with growth in mind. Is that correct?
Very much so. I've spent my career with startups from 10 million in sales to working for $25 billion corporations.
Oh, my word.
And anyone in between. So no, small to mid growth. I think you're able to participate more with management and the manufacturing operation of that company, and you can be an integral part of the decision-making process in a small environment, which I enjoy.
How did you find out about Community Career Center? I'm always curious about how everybody finds out, and are you participating in any way, volunteering or being out there?
I found out about the Community Career Center through other job seekers in Naperville, and I think what I've learned and as I've participated in the Career Center, that Becky, Joy, and others provide job seekers like myself with encouragement, career suggestions, as well as business contacts excuse me. I think some of the courses that have been offered for those of us over the age of 40, like social media, LinkedIn, these are the tools now for those of us who are job seekers to build a brand, which is now yourself, and market yourself. So I have had an opportunity to take several courses at the Career Center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you found it helpful, obviously.
Very much so.
Well, that's very interesting. So you've been sort of connected with this for how long then?
I've been connected in 2 different stints with the Career Center during 2009 to 2010, and again here in 2012. Mm-hmm. But things have changed in those 2 or 3 years as well. How job seekers connect with companies or vice versa, or recruiters, meaning just in that window as opposed to 20 or 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I can only speak as a board member, but we're very, very proud. Our board is very proud of our staff, and especially what Becky and Joy, now Joy isn't staff, she's board, but what they're able to do. And I especially enjoy something about both of them when I sneak in and listen once in a while, and that is their communication skills, because they're getting these points across to our people who are looking for employment, you know. And that's very strong. Do you find that to be true?
I do, especially in the last month that I've participated more recently. Here I've taken a couple classes, social media with Becky, brush on LinkedIn, where's your passion, and some other things at the Career Center that I've found to be valuable and keep you focused, and also let you know how companies are finding employees now through LinkedIn or through Twitter or through means that weren't there 10 years ago.
Is there one more than the others, Twitter or LinkedIn, either one of them more important than the other?
I think they're all equally important. Just because of the movement in that direction by local companies as well as other companies across the country. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that has done so much to empower the job seeker, has it not? Being able to have all this communication, electronic communication. You don't have to be an IT expert, but they'll learn those skills also.
Absolutely.
At Community Career Center as well, right? And being able to put a resume up on a national basis, I do believe, right? That can happen.
That's correct.
That's really very fine. We have a number of things going on out there, and Becky and I talked about it earlier. But there's so many different programs that people can join in and do. Now, you're not from the Midwest. You're from the East, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, right. How do you find the Midwest?
I like the Midwest. I mean, coming from St. Louis recently to Chicago and from Boston to St. Louis, the first thing I noticed there was the heat. Because it's at least
we don't talk about it too much when we're out of there, but you know, we grow up with that. It's so much that you take for granted that you automatically have air conditioning in your cars and you automatically have air conditioning in your homes. You couldn't live without it. But it's the humidity. Deep in that Mississippi River Valley and Missouri River Valley, so it's the humidity. Yeah, people talk about it often. That's the only thing that prevents going to a Cardinal baseball game as being just absolutely 100% perfect. Is the humidity. But nevertheless, you endured it, and you passed through, and now you're up here with a lot less humidity anyway.
And the Cubs fans might not think too highly of.
That's okay. We don't think a whole lot of them, but we try. Do you have any job search tips for some of our people out there?
I've discovered a few. I think you have to pursue your interests and passions. I think you also need to spend a lot of time networking. But you have to believe in your ability. You have to believe that next job is they're going to hire you for your talents and skills because you bring some resolution to their issues. That's sometimes hard to focus your personal efforts on when you've been out for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, I understand.
And stay enthusiastic. But I being a salesperson, always believe you have the best product, and this product happens to be yourself right now, as opposed to a particular company. But once you believe in yourself, you can sell others. It gives them a confidence, and I think sometimes we all need more than just a friend or a call or maybe a kick, but you have to believe that in such things like job search that can be longer term than 90 days.
Well, thanks for your tips, and good luck to you. I hope that you land soon, Andy, and we'll kind of wrap that up for this week. That's another week of Community Career Center. We'll be back next month, Becky and I, with someone new guest, and hopefully at least one job seeker. That we hope there's still one out there somewhere. Thanks for your time. Thank you.